So I want to introduce this concept here of increasing your wage over time. So again, we kind of chatted about this on the Maple Bitcoin show. We didn't really do too much in terms of like hard numbers though. So I want to actually present this in a way that people would understand here. So the question was about starting a side hustle and earning Bitcoin. So I'm going to use an example here of somebody like me who does like a daily show on YouTube and Zapstream. And so this is kind of what I put together here quickly mid show. So forgive me if there's something wrong here, but so let's just say for an example, during 2024, doing a live stream every day, let's say that from all the zaps that we received or that I received, it totaled about 2 million sats. So the average price of Bitcoin in 2024 was 65,000 US dollars, which means that my salary for the year would be in fiat terms $1,300 and per hour $4.40. So it doesn't seem like that great of an investment of time, right? But here's the kicker. So if you assume a 50% return year compound annual growth rate on Bitcoin, which historically is what happened, and I expect it to be that, if not more. So you can see that by 2031 here, the price of Bitcoin, presumably based on this, will be about $1.1 million. So the key to this, and the kind of the key concept with this, is that when you earn in Bitcoin, you can actually dictate your own salary. In other words, you get to decide what your salary is based on when you spend your Bitcoin. So in 2024, if I made this money, made these apps in Bitcoin, and I didn't spend it, then I can basically set my own salary in the future when I go to spend that Bitcoin. So keep in mind here, this is the purchasing power that these 2 million sats will get me, assuming this increase. So we got 2024 earnings again, the 2 million sats that I earned in 2024 from doing a stream. The 2031 expected price of Bitcoin is going to be 1.1 million. And so my salary now, because I didn't spend the Bitcoin, my salary will be 22,000 US dollars or $75 an hour. So that's a pretty big jump from $4 per hour for doing something like a stream to $75. And that's assuming that I earned these sats in 2024. I held on to them. Maybe I put them in like a longer term wallet and I didn't spend them until 2031, which isn't that far away. That's what, 7 years from now? So with that in mind, you can start different side hustles today. You can start a stream, even if it seems like an insignificant amount. You can see here that my per hour was $4. That's my return on my investment of time if I spent those sats. But if I held on to them for 7 years, my salary actually becomes $75 per hour just by holding on to it. So
that's side hustle.
Side hustle. Yeah. And that's kind of the key here is that you could start a side hustle, something like this. Or if you're just going to work and working a 9-to-5 job, you could do the same and just take a portion of your salary and put it into Bitcoin, which will essentially increase your fiat salary over time. As long as you hold on to those sats for 7 years in this case, you will over time increase your salary just by holding Bitcoin, which is a wild concept.
Yeah, that is a wild concept. So basically, if you decide what you can DCA, would that be a good way to look at it? Decide what you can DC, dollar cost average.
Yeah, I mean, from that perspective, if you said, well, okay, well, I don't really have time to do like a Bitcoin side hustle right now, that's fine. Most people don't have a lot of time. I get it. But, if let's say you go to work and you make $300 per day and your monthly expenses net out to be, you have to spend $250 per day, right? So your take home there's $50 per day. So if you bought Bitcoin with that, that'd be the same kind of thing. And if you held on to it, you would basically increase your salary over time just by holding on to Bitcoin instead of spending it on stupid things.
Excellent.
And then, I mean, you stretch it out to 10 years, you hang on to that to 10 years, that's going to go to $100 per hour and then $150 an hour. So that's kind of the concept there, is that you can kind of decide your own rate, what you're worth, based on how long you hold Bitcoin that you earn. Even if you're earning fiat, flip it into Bitcoin and hold on to it that way.
Which, if I can go this direction with it, brings us back around to like going through your garage, finding
Exactly.
stuff that you can sell. Is that your side hustle? You know, you like, maybe you're finding, you know, an old piece of furniture and you do something to it and now you sell it for something. Got stuff laying around the house. That's why I think a lot of Bitcoiners that I've heard of are like, you know, like, nope, selling everything, selling everything. I need a mattress on a floor. That's all I'm living on. You know, you ever seen those pictures of those guys that have like zero, like they're living like paupers, you know? I think it's great.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
100%. So let's dive into that, Bodie, because let's take this, you know, one step further here. So instead of the salary here, then let's say that you sold a bike in your garage. Let's do that.
Okay.
So
I can list them off for you. I got
you got what?
I got a whole list.
No. Yeah, let's say you have an old bike in your garage that you've been wanting to ride for, you know, 5 years, but you haven't pulled it out and dusted it off. So you could sell that bike. So it says you have to bring it up on the screen here, Bodie.
Okay.
I just kind of changed the
you
no, it's okay.
Yeah,
So I just
I'm looking
changed
at
the
comments.
spreadsheet on the fly here. So this is the wording might be off a little bit here, but let's say that let's call this bike sale in 2024, or say 2025. We'll make it more realistic. So the price now is 81,000. So anyways, this is what you'll get. So if you sold a bike for 500,000 sats in 2025, you'll get what is that worth? $405. But you keep that same bike sale from 2025 and you hold on to those sats for 7 years. That bike just went from $400 worth of purchasing power to $5,600 worth of purchasing power. Yes.
There you go.
So it's the exact same kind of concept.
You've got you've got all kinds of let's see, you got an old truck or an old car in the backyard, you know, or something that just needs a little bit of work, you know, you got to redo something and it'll be ready to go. Everybody's had stuff like that. If you've done anything, if you've, you know, had anything in your life, you know, it's like anything break on you before, you know. Sometimes these things sort of hang around, and it's sort of like spring cleaning. It's a good time to get your spring cleaning going, you know.
100%.
But you can sell it for Bitcoin.
100%.
Or turn it into Bitcoin. Yeah, thanks for sharing.